friends, it's Komenda here. Welcome in my next process video for Mintay Papers. Today I'm going to show you how I created this frame. It's kind of a shadow box too. I was using a pretty Marry Me collection, which is themed for weddings, but you can also create many other projects with it because it's very soft in colors. This is the collection I will be working with, and I bought this frame long ago during one of the crops. I even don't remember what company is it, and I thought it's a perfect time to finally use it. It's an 8DF frame, like a wooden frame, and you have to assemble it. It has kind of a bold damask pattern, and it went really fast when it comes to assembling pieces together. It went much longer to paint it white using gesso. I had to do it a few times. I was hoping to use a chalk paint, like a white chalk paint, but mine turned out into stone because I'm not using them too often, so I had to do it with gesso, and I had to do it, I think, 3 times to finally cover this brown color. This color of wood would be perfect if you like a vintage project, so you don't have to even cover it. In my case, I had to cover it with a white color to get the effect I wanted. I left my frame to dry, and in the meantime I also painted pink with one of the chalk paints that didn't turn into stone. I painted pink the element that will be a background for the swirly oval I have. As you can see, I didn't paint the inside of the frame because I will fill it with paper, and I didn't paint the part behind the frame because this will also be covered with stripes of paper. With chalk paint, it's very chalk paint dries very fast, so it's good for this kind of projects, and it has a really great kind of opacity. It covers very well, so you really don't have to paint as many times as I had to with gesso. And I am leaving my frame to dry, and in the meantime I am going to make a kind of an experiment. I covered my damask frame with a little bit of embossing ink. It's just a distress ink embossing refiller, and I covered my wooden element with it, and then I sprinkled it with a white embossing powder. I wanted to achieve this kind of an enamel effect on my frame, so I covered it and I'm drying it to make the powder melt, and I repeated the process I think twice. So I once again covered it with embossing ink, and once again covered it all with white powder. You can see how the powder melts, creating a white kind of a layer, but because of the color of the frame, I had to do it twice because it has some holes and you could see the brown color from beneath. So I repeated the process twice. You can also repeat it a few more times if you want to get this very thick and kind of dimensional layer. The next step is kind of a soften the pinkish pinkish background. I am using a piece of sandstone to kind of weather it to add this shabby look. You will be able to see white gesso from behind, and I'm looking if it's enough. And now I'm using distress crackle paint on the edges to create even more shabby look. Shabby chic, it's not my usual style. I'm more like a rainbow type of a person, and And I do not like to create a very romantic projects, but from time to time I feel like this very strong urge to change everything and go in directions I never go. So that is why making this frame was kind of relaxing for me. It was something new and I like to play with new things. I printed my picture kind of big because I wanted the whole kind of a person on the picture not cut out from the knees to above. So I needed to find a good picture. I chose one of the wedding pictures of me and my hubby. And now it's the hardest part. This part, well, I won't tell you all the bad words I had in my head when I was making it. I needed to fit in the oval paper into the hole in my frame, and it took me a while. I cut out this process from the video because it was long process. Now I know that I should have been started with filling it with paper and then gluing down the background for my damask frame, but I finally managed to do it, and I need to adjust it a little bit on the edges with a precision knife, but it kind of fits inside. I will also have to cover the oval part of the frame with 2 stripes, but it went much faster because all I had to do is to measure how wide, how deep is the box, and then I could just cut strips and it was all good. As you can see, I still struggle a little bit with the oval, but I think now it's fine. I will add here some glue, add some glue inside and add here the oval. The glue I'm using is just regular scrappy glue, like Arlene Tacky glue, and it really holds well to this kind of material like wood or HDF. I filled the oval, and now it's time to cut the stripes of pink paper to cover the inner part of the frame. And I measured it with a piece of paper so I know exactly how wide they should be, and I'm just adding some glue inside. And if you would have similar project anytime in the future in your mind, please please don't make the same mistakes as I did. Fill the box first and then glue the elements over it like I did. You can also paint the inner part of the box, which probably would be much faster and less stressful, but I didn't want to do it, so it costed me some extra time to fill in. I think it was the longest part of the project. But I filled I covered the inner part of the frame, and I am ready to add picture, add flowers. Those flowers are all fussy cutted from the Marry Me collection papers. Some of them I cut out from the paper sheet, and some of them are cutted from paper number 9, which is kind of an extra paper with elements you can fussy cut. And I have few layers. It's kind of shadow box, so I am placing elements inside, starting with the least number of 3D foam squares, and I keep adding them to fill in the frame, and the picture will be close to the edge and I don't want it to bend, so I'm backing it with a piece of cardboard. I outlined the picture and now I'm cutting the cardboard a little bit smaller than the picture itself. Thanks to that, even if the frame will be standing on the shelf for a while and the paper will get kind of a little bit wet, it won't buckle inside the frame. So it's hard to film the process because the frame is vertical and it's not lying flat on the desk. so it's hard for me to show you exactly how I did it from above, but now you can see that the scene inside the box is ready, and I can glue down the oval frame, and I can also embellish the box itself. I will add some flowers cut it out from paper, some paper flowers, and wedding themed elements like this cake. Mm, and it was kind of a fast process when the box was ready. Embellishing it was a pure joy, and it really went quite fast. I'm not comfortable with using paper flowers because I do not use a lot of them, so it took me a while to figure out which of them I need in my project and how to arrange them. But I finally managed to find the perfect solution. The flowers I'm using are, I don't even know where are they from. Some of them maybe Prima flowers, some of them are kind of fabric flowers I got from friends. Honestly, I didn't bought any flowers for a very long time. I had a time in my crafty kind of career when I liked using flowers, and then it went down and I do not like using them anymore. And now I am adding a little bit of gesso over the whole of my project to kind of mute it a little bit, mute the colors. This is kind of a last shabby chic touch on the project. And I can see I forgot to glue the strip on the back of the frame. I don't think I have it filmed, but I did it later. I added the paper strip to cover the brown part, and it's kind of simple process, so you are not missing anything and not seeing me doing it. I hope you like this project, and I hope you will join me in using up some elements you bought for decoration and you never used them, and they were just lying them waiting for a mojo to come. Pull them out from the drawer and try to make something with them like I did today. You don't have to do a wedding theme project, you can do anything you want. And that's it for today. My project is ready. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mintay Papers channel, and see you soon. Bye bye.